Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mill. Technical difficulties today, but nevertheless, here we are. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mill. Roll up. One man went to mill. Where are you guys? Okay, we've got one. Yes, apologies for the person watching. This should have been on at least a good 30 minutes ago. But some technical difficulties, but nevertheless, here we are. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen, one man went to mill. We're discussing the June 12 situation again. We're revisiting June 12, so roll up. Obasanjo, who was one of the key players during June 12, and one of the key beneficiaries, by the way, of June 12 as well, has come out in the public space to have his say. So we're going to address that. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen, one man went to mill. And also apologies that the program is coming on late. It should have been on earlier, but some technical difficulties. But nevertheless, here we are. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mill. So you've seen the headline. Abiola, not Abiola, but Obasanjo has come out in the public space to say that the June 12 election that was cancelled was due to bad blood. So why is he saying this and what's inspiring this? So we're looking to tackle all that. So that is the topic of discussion for today. One man went to mill. So let's just wait for a few more people to join us. Say hello as you're coming in. That's the link if you want to interact. And apologies, as I was saying, that I'm coming on a lot later than I usually do. It was due to some technical difficulties, reasons unavoidable. One man went to mill. So June 12 election is where we're going back to again to revisit that. And that is the topic of our discussion for today. So Obasanjo has come out recently to have his say and thoughts. So June 12, 1993 is what we're talking about. What happened then? You know, Obasanjo has come out into the public space to have his say. So let's just get straight into it before I start to fumble and mumble. So this is Obasanjo's position. June 12 election was annulled due to bad blood. So this is what Obasanjo is saying now. June 12 election was annulled due to bad blood. So what exactly does it mean? And why exactly is it coming out in the public space to say this time around? So this is what we're looking to tackle. I'd like a few more of you to come in. I know that we are a lot later than the advertised time. That, of course, as I said, was due to reasons unavoidable. So there was technical difficulties which I've since overcome. So here we are. Gather still. We're talking the June 12 election, and Obasanjo has taken a position. So let's now find out exactly what position Obasanjo is taking. June 12 election was annulled due to bad blood. Attributed to Obasanjo, a comment attributed to Obasanjo. So let's see what Obasanjo is saying. A former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, says bad blood is the reason for the annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, thought to have been won by late business mogul Moshood Kashimawo Abiola. So Obasanjo is saying this now, but Obasanjo, of course, did not speak up during that election. And Obasanjo, of course, was one of the main beneficiaries of that annulment because it is off the back of that annulment that Obasanjo became the president in 1999. But nevertheless, he has come out in the public space to have a say. So what is that say? Let's have a look. The former president, who described the late acclaimed winner of the election, Kashimawo Abiola, as his schoolmate at the Baptist Boys High School, Abeokuta, said the annulment robbed Egbaland the rare opportunity to have three of its prominent sons occupy the seat of president at different times. So, of course, Obasanjo was our president, and then a lot of you will recall that Ernest Shonekan was also an interim president at some point because, of course, when Babangida was forced out, they installed Ernest Shonekan then as president for a period, and I think he's from Abeokuta as well. But then, of course, Abiola should have won that election, so there would have been then three Yoruba presidents then in the history of Nigeria, all of them, curiously enough, coming from the same place, which is Abeokuta. Obasanjo spoke today in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, during his investiture as trustee of the Abeokuta Club, a social-cultural organization of Egba people of Ogun State. The late business mogul was also awarded a posthumous vice patron of the club during its 46th president party held at its secretariat in Abeokuta. According to Obasanjo, Abiola richly deserved the award bestowed on him by the Abeokuta Club. Obasanjo was, let's see, sorry, I'm pausing to see how many people are there. So there's 10 people in here now. So please engage with the platform. We're talking about Obasanjo now finally responding to the June 12, 1993 election that we had in Nigeria that Abiola won. And he is saying that the annulment of that election was down to bad blood. So we take it from the preceding paragraph again. The late business mogul who was also awarded a posthumous vice patron of the club during its 46th president party held at the secretariat in Abeokuta. According to Obasanjo, Abiola richly deserved the award bestowed on him by the Abeokuta Club. Obasanjo, who was apparently referring to former head of interim national government Chief Ernest Shonekan himself, who ruled Nigeria first as a military head of state and later 2 times civilian president, noted that Abiola would have become the third if the 1993 polls was not cancelled. So yes, he was referring to Ernest Shonekan, who again, curiously enough, is from Abeokuta. So it looks as though now, if Tinubu is not from Abeokuta, it's unlikely to become the president. So he continues, I want to thank Abeokuta Club for this honor being bestowed on me and the honor being bestowed on my schoolmate MKO Abiola, which he richly deserves. Obasanjo stated, normally, when you win a cup 3 times, you keep the cup. Isn't that so? If not for Bad Belle, Abeokuta would have produced President of Nigeria 3 times, in which case we should have kept it permanently. So it's a curious little joke that Obasanjo is making there, because of course, once you get a hat trick, then of course you get a hat trick of a win. That used to be the tradition, by the way. I think even with the World Cup, if you win it 3 times, I'm not sure if it is 3 times in succession, but certainly if you win it 3 times, then you get to keep the cup. So this is what he's saying, that had Abiola, this is in a jocular way, I'm pretty certain, that had Abiola been given his just rewards, then by rights and by precedence, the Abeokutas should have kept the state of Nigeria. So he says that in jest, let's see. It says, but be that as it may, We have a great heritage and we should be proud of our heritage. Obasanjo, however, pledged his commitment to the development of the club, Ogun State, Nigeria, and the world. I want to say this: I will continue to contribute my quota to the development and growth of this club, and by extension, the development and growth of Abeokuta, of Ogun State, of Nigeria, of Africa, and indeed the world, in whichever way I can, the former president pledged. So that is Obasanjo now coming out in the public space to describe the annulment of the June 12 election as bad belle, but he has not expanded on that to tell us exactly why he's describing it as bad belle. But then, of course, we all know what happened on June 12 when the presidential election was annulled. But this is not something that Obasanjo is referencing. So on the 24th of June, IBB, that is Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, annulled the election that took place on June 12, citing the issues of vote buying as well as the need to protect the country's judiciary. Ahead of the elections, there were suggestions that the military leadership were uneasy about a possible presidency of Abiola and would not accept the result if he won. So that is just a brief summary of what transpired on June 12, 1993, when the what's it called, the Buhari junta, not the Buhari junta, but the Babangida junta annulled the June 12 election. So June 12 now, of course, has been declared as Democracy Day within the Nigerian space. Too little, too late, as they say. But then, of course, this is the situation that we find ourselves. So, come share thoughts. Anybody with any thoughts on this? Because I'm just whittling none. So that is essentially what Obasanjo just said. But what says you? The June 12th election was annulled. Obasanjo is citing bad belle as the reason. But what is your reasoning? Hello, who you help? My brother, you have changed your name. Sorry, we're coming on late. I had some technical difficulties, so I'm not quite sure if you noticed, but we're starting a lot later than we usually do. We're just really revisiting the June 12 election. Obasanjo is coming out to say that the reason for the annulment of June 12, 1993, the Abiola election, was due to bad belle, but he has not told us what the bad belle is, but he's now ascribing bad belle to it. But of course, it was that June 12 election that made the pathway for him to become president in 1999. So do you have any thoughts on the June 12 election? We're revisiting it.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I think when Obasanjo is saying to us that bad belle was the key to the annul of the June 12th, maybe we should say yes, and also maybe we should say no. One of those reasons is that what do we know about Babangida and what is it called?
Abiola.
Abiola.
Okay.
Because they were good friends.
They were good friends, you know. They were extremely good friends to the point that they were so pally-pally that when Abiola is broke, he will go to Baba. This was before Babangida became president. He will go to Babangida and say, I'm broke, my pal. And then that one will just sub him like a few hundred. So they were eating from the same pot, those two guys, Abiola and Babangida. Sorry, Felix, we see you, but let who you help land this point. Yeah, carry on. Who you help? Okay, let's go to Felix. I think who you help is
I think we are having problem with this. Somebody's.
Who you help? We're getting feedback. Sorry, Felix. Felix, we're getting feedback from you. Okay.
There is too much noise.
Yes. No, I think it's the third person that is trying to come in.
Yeah.
You carry on.
Okay. In the first place is that I don't think June 12th is relevant to me these days, because what is in the secret, we are not going to know it, except Babangida came out and tell us the truth. This is the reason I didn't hand over to Abiola. I think if Babangida is honest enough to tell us, then we can say, okay, this is the reason. But I think most of the research that the people have spoke about during this period, what really went wrong, why Babangida did not hand over to Abiola, it was greediness. All came about because they were paddy, like Fela used to say. They were paddy, and then they all have wrong. Why Babangida did not hand over to Abiola?
Sorry, hold on. Who you help? Felix, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We're getting some feedback from your system. I'm not quite sure if you have a device next to.
No, I don't think it's from my end.
Okay, if I put you on mute now, you won't hear it again. So you see that you can't hear it anymore now. So
yeah,
the reverberation. Can you hear it, one man?
Yeah, there is no noise now. Everything is okay.
But you could hear it before I muted him.
Yeah.
So if I unmute you now. Okay, so sorry, you carry on.
Okay, my point is this:
yes,
is that
you can hear. Yeah, sorry, I was just testing to make sure that it is from him. Okay, carry on. Sorry, one man.
Okay,
not one man. You've changed your name.
Yeah, who you help? Who did they help when they are telling us to feed on their home problem? Did they help us? Because if they help us, we will not be in Europe. So let them continue to go. You know, the news of what went wrong, I think a lot of people have come out and make a lot of investigation and speak about it, and we don't know which one is true. But one thing for sure that I believe was true is that Samuel Doe of Liberia was a friend to.
Yeah, carry on. I was just checking to see if Felix was gone.
Yeah, Samuel Doe of Liberia. Samuel Doe was a friend to Babangida. And then during the civil war in Liberia, Samuel Doe actually called to Babangida and said, I have enough money to send to your account. And Babangida refused that, oh, you know, I'm the head of state. If money come into my direct account, there will be problem. And then he told him that I had a friend who can actually help. And Abiola has business in what is it called, in Liberia.
Yeah.
And then wire the money through a business transaction to Abiola. So your children, because okay, the name of Samuel Doe's wife was Nasi. Nasi actually was living in England by that period of time. So when Samuel Doe died, Nasi and his children came to Nigeria to get the money from Abiola. Babangida actually invited Abiola, and Abiola said, oh, the money was not actually direct to my account, was in Simbiato account, and Simbiato already died. So Abiola.
Anyway, it took the money, Abi.
Yeah. And then the other part,
sorry,
the second one.
I think we have. Sorry, let me see.
Okay, the wife.
Felix.
The name of
we have a lot of people talking here.
Nasi actually was living in England.
We don't have a lot of people talking. We're getting the feedback from your system because it's echoing back.
Nasi and his children came to Nigeria.
All right,
to get the money
noted.
From Abiola.
You remember me, right?
Yes, I do remember you, and I do want to hear from you. So just sort out the gremlins, and then I'll bring you back. Right. So sort out the gremlins your end, and then I'll bring you back. Sorry, who you help?
Yeah. So that was the first scenario problem between Abiola and Babangida, and then the second one was a rumor. I don't know if it's true that Abiola actually that Abiola actually met Miriam Babangida. They have an affair together in Beijing. That was a rumor. I don't know if it's true or any of those things. The rumor has gone off viral in Nigeria at a point that Abiola actually have an affair with Miriam Babangida in Beijing, in China. So, with couple of...
sorry to interrupt you, who you help, but that Miriam Babangida, she did a lot of havoc, you know. If that is true, I did not hear that rumor that Abiola had an affair with her. But then, of course, we know Abiola to be a ladies' man. But then, of course, you have to remember that Miriam Babangida was actually meant to marry a musician called Bongo Sikwe. You remember Bongo Sikwe?
Yeah.
Yes, he sang this song, "Oh, Mariama, Mariama, my woman." And that was for Mariam Babangida. So Babangida actually chanced Bongo Sikwe to get Mariam. So if Mariam then was chanced by Abiola, then it is a bit of a loose... sorry, carry a land your point, and then we'll bring Felix in. I think he may have sorted out.
I think with those two things was the beginning of the problem between Babangida and Abiola. And in Abiola's statement, and I quote, he said the president assured him this time that he should go and contest for the election, that this will be a firm, good election. And then that's why he went to contest, because he said he was on a trip, probably to Egypt. He was in Egypt when he flew back to Nigeria to register and then to contest for the election. So for me, I don't think what is it called?
Just to add to that, he was on that trip to Egypt, I think, to follow his football team then, which was Abiola Babes. Yes. So let's bring Felix in. Felix, are we good now?
Oh yes, thank you very much for having me. I want to shed light on one or two things. Because he said he was as regards Obasanjo's issue with Abiola, all right, that maybe quite unknown to register.
Sorry, Felix, are you hearing it as we're hearing it? Because we're hearing ourselves back on you.
What is it called?
To add to that, he was on that trip to Egypt, I think, to follow his football team. Can you hear it? Yes. Felix. So let's bring Felix in. Felix, are we good now?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you guys. I've been listening to who you helped and your conversation with who you helped.
He said he was on the issue with when he may be back in Nigeria to register. Are you hearing it as we're hearing it? Because
Felix, can I say something before you carry on? Can you turn off your device?
Still improve on this. Okay,
yes,
and one of the ways we can improve on this is
because we're very keen to hear you, but we can't really hear you. So either turn off your device completely or reduce the volume to 0 so that the only voice we're hearing is yours. I'm sure you can hear the feedback as well.
Now, straight to the point. Okay, you see, when you're a military man, okay.
So we're waiting for you. Brilliant. Carry on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. I'll give you the
all right, great. Awesome. This is my first time doing this, and although I've been following this platform from day one, and your trademark, which I know is carry on with the conversation. Anyway, I'm a Nigerian like you, a Yoruba man from Ekiti State, and I followed the issues of Nigeria closely. Every Nigerian is a politician, and you see, the military are in control, and it's difficult. I grew up in the barracks. My father was a military personnel. God bless his memory. You see, there are certain things, there's a way a military person is trained to think. That is why that's why that word carry on is a military terminology. You know, I went to a military school. They said when you salute, they say carry on. What does that mean? It goes on and on and on. They stay in power.
No, that's not what it means. That's not what that carry on means in that context. That carry on, when you salute, it means as you were, you know, so stand easy and stay firm. That is more what it means. But carry on.
We are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
We're saying the same thing. When you say carry on, it means maintain the situation.
Yes.
And when you are going to maintain the situation, of course, a military personnel will not yield power to a bloody civilian. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. That's what you call a bloody.
I understand. Yeah.
Yes. I stayed in the barracks for close to 20 years. Even when my father retired, I was still in the barracks. So I understand their mentality. Is soldier go, soldier come. They will not yield power till they die. That is why Obasanjo, if you have to go for any political position of impact, you must either go to Mina to see IBB, or you go to Ogun State to see Obasanjo.
Can I interrupt you, Felix?
All right, tell me.
Obasanjo ceded power to Shagari, Shehu Shagari.
Yes.
Yes, Obasanjo, he was the military head of state, and he ceded power to Shehu Shagari.
Yes. This was more or less like take. When they take, they collect from behind. It's an arrangement. If I give them power, this is how we go take collect them. Now you know as you go take collect them back. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
No, so I do understand, but to the point, Obasanjo has come out in the public space to speak on the June 12 election finally. I don't think he has really said anything in public till now, and he has described it as bad belle. So, of course, there's a lot of narrative. There's a lot still about that June 12 that is shrouded in mystery. So, Who You Help has given us some understanding, but there are almost like 1 million understandings that underpins that. One understanding also was that Babangida was willing to hand over that power, but the Supreme Military Council then, David Mark, I think one other, Husseini, etc., they were insistent that they don't want Abiola and they don't want to cede power, to the point that they threatened Babangida's life, that if he did it, that will be the last thing that he does. So that is another version. So do you have a version as to why that June 12 election was cancelled? And do you have any thoughts as to why Obasanjo has now come out in the public space to make these comments that he's now making? Felix.
Anyway, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my version. Okay, and I hope after saying this, you will carry on. I just want to observe this room and also shed a bit of my own opinion. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that look at the whole of Africa. It's intentional. Military, they will seize power and they will give it to their friends. And most of them, their friends, their trusted allies are military people. Because they believe that, look, we are all speaking grammar. This grammar we are speaking is not indigenous to us. This is a borrowed language. And so if you want to steal in Nigeria, then you have to know how to speak grammar. I don't know if you are following me. That is one of the criteria. Because if you say something in Yoruba now, of course, it will make a lot of meaning, and I can equally challenge you quickly. And if you say that in public, people can easily take their decisions. And so basically what I'm just trying to say is that the military will never yield power. Even when they retire, they are still soldiers guarding their houses. Okay, so they will never yield power to a civilian person. Obasanjo is saying that today because he wants to be relevant and still remain relevant, because Tinubu is bringing up his own ambition. I will leave it at that. Please carry on with the conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Felix. You're welcome to stay if you want to stay. Who You Help, do you have something to say? Because I wanted to add a bit more background actually to what we're saying. So maybe I should do that first, and then I'll come to you, Who You Help. So just really to add a bit of background to the June 12 situation, presidential elections were held in Nigeria on the 12th of June 1993, the first since the 1983 military coup that ended the country's second republic. The elections were the outcome of a transitional process to civilian rule spearheaded by the military ruler Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, IBB. The unofficial result of the election, though not declared by the National Electoral Commission (NEC), indicated a victory for Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola of the Social Democratic Party (SDP), who defeated Bashir Tofa of the National Republic Convention (NRC). The winner of the election was thus never declared, as the elections was annulled by IBB, citing electoral irregularities. The annulment led to protest and political unrest, including the resignation of IBB and a weak interim civilian government, and culminated in the continuation of military rule in the country, with Sani Abacha ascending the power as military head of state via a bloodless coup later in the year. So the weak interim civilian government, of course, was Ernest Shonekan. And just as a side note, Obasanjo was referencing that the annulment of that June 12 election denied Abeokuta having three indigenes from that particular space being the president of Nigeria. So that, of course, highlights that Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria twice over, first as a military man and then subsequently as a civilian. And then, of course, we had Ernest Shonekan, who served in that interim position, and had Abiola, of course, been given his victory, then he would have been a third president. But then, of course, if Abiola had been declared the winner, then there would have been no need for Ernest Shonekan. So he's perhaps factually wrong in saying that. But really, it's just really to speak to that, really. Abeokuta won. I'm not quite sure what is going on there, that they're the ones producing the Nigerian president. But really, the annulment of that June 12 election. And also, Ernest Shonekan was weak because as soon as he came in and he had presidential powers, he should have just retired all of the people that were in that Supreme Military Council then for the Babangida regime, because of course they made him an interim president, but then they surrounded him with all these gunmen. They were always in situation then. That June 12 was the best election that Nigeria ever had. It was also perhaps still the most expensive election that has ever been conducted on the continent of Africa. You all remember option A4 or no option A4. What is your memory of that time? Who you help, or were you too young for that era? Maybe were you even born then in 19? Are you sure? Should I ask why? Sorry, yeah, I just. What is your memory? What are your recollections of that time? And then you, Felix, you coming next.
Actually, I was fully aware of June 12th, and then actually, I don't know, the brother Olayinka, probably since you are from the barrack,
Olaniyi.
Oh, Olaniyi, sorry.
Yes. Yes. So you can call me Felix if you are Igbo.
Okay,
You can call me
Felix. Okay, Felix.
No formalities here. First name terms.
Yeah. Right. So the point, since you are from the military, probably you will remember during Babangida regime, the next man to Abacha, his name was General Olufiyoye Bajowa.
Correct. Absolutely. Bajowa.
Yes. Actually, I become a good friend, family friends with them.
All right. That's nice.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have to. I'm not 100%. But my point was this. Let me even say this in the first place. If like what you said, that Obasanjo is trying to be relevant, I agree with that. Actually, the point was this: when Obasanjo was president, why don't he came out and tell us the whole truth of June 12th? When he was the president of Nigeria, 1998, he should have tell us the honest truth everything about June 12th. And then we can reconcile about that. But he didn't say it. How many years now? Over 20 years that he has took since 22 years. He took power 99 up to date. It's 21, 22 years. Now you are telling us, oh, it's bad belly. Obasanjo, we don't want to listen to your bad belly. Please let the dead lion sleep. Let the dead lions lie down there and let's move forward with the problem of Nigeria.
I find Obasanjo very much an enigma within the Nigerian space. A lot of people attribute a lot of blame for the Nigerian situation to Obasanjo because if you think about it, Obasanjo, out of everyone else, is the one that has ruled Nigeria for the longest period. If you add his military time to his civilian time, he has ruled Nigeria for the longest period for one individual. And a lot of people attribute a lot of stuff that why did you do this and you shouldn't have done that, including the Boko Haram situation that he mishandled the situation during his tenure as the civilian president, which then birthed this Boko Haram situation that we find ourselves in. But Obasanjo did a lot of good for the Nigerian state as well. I'm not quite sure if people are willing to acknowledge that. Felix.
Yes, to be candid with you, Obasanjo is one of the greatest leader Nigeria has ever had. Okay, I say that with all humility and regard. You see, Obasanjo is not as educated as you think. Maybe now, yes, because military people don't believe in education per se. A military person is a professional. You know, he handles rifle, he takes command, he gives command. He's not somebody who will sit down and think and you know, try to manipulate or try to change figures. You know, so coming from his background, his humble background, his military background, his association, his the brainwashing. So this is somebody who evolved out of all of this. When he became the civilian president, he surrounded himself with first-class thinkers, first-class performers, okay, advisors. Even people were mocking him. I was busy laughing because I knew that was the right thing to do. Of course, he didn't know what to do. So he had to surround himself with talented people, people he can actually vouch for. He is a leader. He's supposed to organize a team, build a team, a formidable team that can achieve. But there's also the Nigerian system, the constitution, which yields in favor of the North. And so if you take certain decisions and certain actions, it will look as if, this is nepotism. This is going the wrong way, just like what we are having right now. Okay, so to be fair to him, is for me, I don't know about you or anyone else, he still stands tall among all the Nigeria presidents, even in Africa.
Yeah. Just to add to your point, Felix, and then I'll come to who you help.
All right.
At that point that you said that Obasanjo always looks for the best talent irrespective, that was his greatest strength. I'm not sure under the military dispensation, but certainly under the civilian dispensation, that was his greatest strength. And that was really what underpinned whatever success that he had as the civilian president. Obasanjo will tell you to go and will tell them to go and bring a short list. And then out of that short list, he will say, who is the best person and why is he the best person? And then he will appoint that best person that will best fit that position. I had an uncle that actually had that direct experience. It was a DG or something. He knew nobody in politics. It was from academia. And then, of course, the position came up and he put his name, either he put his name forward or his name was put forward. He knew absolutely, we're talking about somebody from the university, so who does he know in politics? And of course, suddenly, he went through a series of processes and suddenly he was invited to Aso Rock. Obasanjo shook his hand and gave him his appointment letter. The guy was shocked that, what is this? Are you saying that I'm getting this job on merit? And the guy said, are you the best man for the job? He said, I feel I am. Then go to the office and go and start your work. So, yeah, he went on merit, which was the greatest strength. So if you contrast that now to what we have now with this Buhari regime, if your name is not Mukhtar, then you are not coming in. So you can see the difference in the style right there. Who you help?
Who you help? Please talk. We are listening.
Okay, good. Actually, kudos to
Obasanjo.
no, there is a name I love to call him.
Baba Yabo.
No, Baba Yabo, those are just many.
Uncle Shege.
No, not Uncle Shege. Not Aremu. Not Aremu.
Kiwani, tell us.
Eborawu.
That's a new one.
No, it's not a new one. No. It's a chieftaincy
well,
title.
It's new to me, but carry on.
Yeah,
It's not.
that's
Yeah,
it.
it's not.
That is his chieftaincy title. Eborawu.
Really?
You know? Yeah.
Yes. He's also known
Baba,
as that.
Yeah, actually, Baba, let's put it this way. To be candid, let's be honest. Baba has been one of the. Let's just put it this way. He's the best Nigeria I've ever produced as a president. You know, but there is some mistake he has made that cost Nigeria up to date.
Yes.
Definitely, yes.
And those mistakes is haunting Nigeria, and those mistakes also are cleaning up. The mistake are actually wiping off the good thing he did.
Okay. Give us some examples.
For example, number one, let's take Boko Haram. He didn't deal with Boko Haram properly. Probably he has the pressure not to do it because he was planning to go on third tenure. Probably he has the tendency, look, I don't want to hurt the northerners of killing their people or just wiping, because you can remember he wiped out Ogoni people.
In OD.
Yeah, he wiped them out without no anything. But he didn't want to do that to the northerners because he was planning to ambitions of third tenure. And that one did not work. Boko Haram escalate. That was one. And then the second one is this. During his military regime, he would have arrested our president now, because he hand over to no. He could not arrest him, but what is it called? The investigation of what is the name of Fani Kayode's dad?
Yes, Carry. I can't remember, but
I can't remember his name. But let me say, Fani Kayode,
yes.
Yeah, Fani Kayode's father. The investigation.
Fani Kayode Senior.
Yeah, Fani Kayode Senior. The investigation was going on during Obasanjo regime before he handed over to Shagari. So if he would have dealt with that situation, probably corruption would have been reduced. But because during those periods, nobody was charged, and Fela was going on with that campaign that this money that missed, and suddenly the same Obasanjo again came out, there is no money is missing. So he has done a lot for Nigeria, but the few things he didn't carry out properly cost Nigeria also a lot.
Yes, I agree with that. You see, one of the things that I also hold against him was that when he came in, he should have immediately arrested Babangida for all of that looting, because that guy, the corruption that we're going through now, Nigeria has always been corrupt, by the way. There was never a time, you remember Umaru Diko, when they were kidnapping him from London and putting him in a car boot for stealing. You remember Alhaji Abubakar Alhaji? This guy, he stole so much money, he forgot a briefcase with $500,000 in a taxi in London. So we've always had, but the level of corruption that Babangida introduced is the one now that has completely destroyed that country as it should be. Because before Babangida, you would steal and go and run away out of the shame. But after Babangida, during Babangida and after Babangida, if you get public office in Nigeria and you don't steal, your village people will chase you out of the village. That look at these idiots. They gave him position and you didn't steal. So the shame now is, after Babangida, the shame now is not stealing, and pre-Babangida, the shame was. So the point that I wanted to make was that Obasanjo was the best placed person to have arrested and prosecuted Babangida to send the signal that we cannot tolerate this. But because he let him get away with it, we now have this free for all because, of course, Goodluck Jonathan could not have done anything. I think who you help has stepped off. Felix, are you there, or should I go to the comment section?
Yes, I am. You want me to go to the comment section, or you want me to?
No. I'm saying, do you want to make a comment, or let me go to the comment section actually, because it looks like you are grappling with your phone. So we've got Anne, this sister of Peace Atlantic. It says, good for Abiola. Abiola was greedy. He supports coup by offering money. So Grace Ami Fidon. Grace Ami Fidon. Look at that. We have our first ever Felix, look at this. So we have our first ever super chat.
Wow.
Look at that. And the person is not even sending a message. Alpha Mega, £5. Well, thank you for that. Look at that.
Yeah.
How are we going to share this one now? £5. So Alpha Mega, thank you for the super chat. Please make a comment so that we can acknowledge you. That's the first ever super chat that we are having in this interaction. So
wow, congratulations.
So I applaud that. £5. That means I will eat for the rest of the year, Abby. Okay, but thank you. I do jest. Yes, it is appreciated. It is not expected, but it is appreciated. But then, if you, for anybody that wants to do that super chat, make a comment along with your super chat so we can, because of course, then it gives prominence to what you've done. So just make a comment, then we can acknowledge your comment as well as your contribution. So thank you for that super chat, Alpha Mega. So who you help? We were saying, and then you left. We were talking about the mistakes that Obasanjo made, and I was saying that one of the things that particularly jars me is that he did not arrest Babangida.
Prosecute Babangida. Prosecute Babangida.
Yes, because he did not allow, he did not prosecute Babangida. By the time he came out of office, the time was too long for anybody to revisit Babangida again. And also he had the weight because he's a military man himself and is a heavyweight too. So he was singularly the person that should have tackled that Babangida thing, because Babangida now has walked away with it. And of course, now everybody wants to be richer than Babangida, so they're all looting Babangida style. So those are some of the atrocities. What do you think of that?
Do you look at the comment section already?
Yes, I'm just looking out to see who is saying what. So yeah, we had that from Alpha Mega. So Alpha Mega goes on to act. One man, love your concept and your unique voice. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Alpha Mega. Grace says, all Africa is mega, sir. All Africa, it should be, that should be. All Africa is mega, sir, is what Grace is saying. Samson, he says, Obasanjo introduced violence in Nigerian politics, in Nigerian election. So I'm not quite sure if violence was never, I don't think there's ever been an election held in Nigeria, right from the very first one till date, where violence is not a part of the mix of that election. Felix.
Yes.
Well, what do you make of that? They are saying that it was Obasanjo that introduced violence to Nigerian elections. Are you
I will not agree with that. Violence has always been in existence. Violence was not even military were always introduced to quell violence, and that was where the situation started. They took over the control of power, because when you introduce military to quell violence, then they take charge. They leave their armor tank in a particular place and they don't go back to pick that up. To pick up that armor tank. Okay, and the reason is deliberate, just to create fear in the polity. And when somebody is afraid of a soldier, are you not afraid of a soldier man in Nigeria? But you will never see them on the streets in London or in America. Even they are friends. You will find them mingling with civilians politely, respectfully. But our case is different. Okay, so like I will still, it was not Obasanjo's fault. Obasanjo did the best he could. But the issue is this. He making comments now is trying, his beat to stay relevant and to still remain in his position as a leader, so that it will not look like he's not saying anything. And if you want people to listen to you, then you have to say something that will catch the attention of everybody. He has advisors everywhere who will tell him, Baba, say this. Baba, don't say this. Oh, Baba, say this. That was why somebody came down Juma the other time, said if he says something, that the whole Nigeria will start. What is he going to say?
What is he going to say? There's nothing that will happen.
Nothing.
We all expect the worst from these people. You know.
The mindset is to divide and
rule. Is he going to say that they are looting money? We know that they are looting money. Is he going to say they are killing people? We know that they are killing people. Is he going to say that they are taking the country by force? We know that they are taking the country by force. And just to speak to that military thing that you were saying, Felix, Nigeria has actually has the majority of its existence. I'm not quite sure now if we're coming out of that, but certainly a heavy weight of a military rulership within the space. So from 1966 to 1979, it was a military rule. Nigeria's first military junta began following the 1966 Nigerian coup d'etat, which overthrew the first Nigerian republic. Major General Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi was made the head of the federal military government of Nigeria, serving 6 months before being overthrown and assassinated in the 1966 Nigerian counter-coup. So the first coup, of course, was the Aguiyi Ironsi. Aguiyi Ironsi was succeeded by General Yakubu Gowon, who established a supreme military council. Gowon held power until July 1975, when he was overthrown in a bloodless coup. Brigadier later General Muritala Mohammed succeeded Gowon. Months later, in February 1976, Mohammed was assassinated by Bukar Suka Dinka and others in a violent coup attempt, but the plotters failed to kill Olusegun Obasanjo, who then succeeded Mohammed as head of state. The Supreme Military Council was formally dissolved when Obasanjo handed over power to elected President Shehu Shagari, ending the military regime and establishing a second Nigerian Republic. So you look at the trajectory. This is just for the first round. So we went from Aguiyi Ironsi to etc., up to Obasanjo to bring in the second republic then, because the first republic, of course, came after the British left. Shagari was later overthrown in the 1983 Nigerian coup d'etat and was succeeded.
One man went to Mo. Please, yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to say something before I forget. Please pardon me.
Yeah, carry on.
Please, you see General Yakubu Gowon, okay, he was threatened out of that office. Get that right. And that Federal Executive Council you are talking about is still in existence today. Even though they said they scrapped, but the structure is still there. The people who belong to that
Supreme Military Council, you mean?
Yes, they are. It's still there.
They used to call them the Langtang boys. Remember?
Yes, they are still there. These people are still, except the ones
General
that are passed on.
Hussaini, David Mark, etc.,
Even Buhari,
yes, Babangida.
Yes, Obasanjo, they are still there. They are still, as long as you are alive, they still meet. They have a way of communicating. So, like one of my father used to say, Obasanjo is just, I don't believe in the word luck, but he said he's just lucky. Okay, Obasanjo is just lucky. Okay, what do I mean by go on? You see what happened in Biafra and all of that, you know? Gowon made a commitment. General Gowon made a commitment to accede to the Abori Accord or whatever, but he could not carry out this because when he came back, they said, no, you cannot subject to this kind of agreement. So he had to leave because they felt he was fearful, and even he had a wind of the planned coup, but it was not supposed to be bloodless. So what he did,
was it not abroad then? He was in the UK then, wasn't he?
No, please listen to me. He that was all the guys. It was a deceit. It's just to deceive our people, the Nigerians, so that he can go away peacefully. Okay, you cannot. A man is not an army. A man is just a soldier. So if the army gangs up against you for their own interest, then you have to bend. And they made a way out, they made a way of escape for him. That look, you don't have to submit to the Igbo people. You go away, we will deal with the rest. Now he had to loot the central bank with him. First of all,
Go on,
in
you
collaboration with the British government,
Yes.
they looted the central bank.
Sorry, hold on,
so
Felix.
this way,
Hold on, Felix.
yes,
Are you talking
yes,
about Go on? You're saying he looted the central bank.
Yes, Gowon
yes.
looted the central bank. That's
Sorry,
true.
I'm going to pause you on that point because that point is actually in contention. And that point, there was a lot of argument over the last 2 months or so on that point that you just made, Felix. When there was a British parliamentarian that said Gowon took the entirety of the central bank with him when he left, when he was overthrown. So there was a lot of controversy to the point that the whole of Nigeria actually fought this guy. That no, of all of the presidents that Nigeria had, that Gowon is one of the ones that did not actually loot in the manner that we know. And the reason why they were saying that was that when Gowon, when he was forced out of power, he ended up in the United Kingdom to continue his education. I think he went to University of Warwick, and during that time, he did not actually even have enough funds for that education, to the point that people were giving him stipends to support his education. This was the person that was the head of state of Nigeria. So a lot of contention on that point that you're making, that he took the
Yes,
entire treasury with him. So carry on, Felix.
a lot of it. A lot of contention, no doubt, but because there are no evidence, and we have lost most part of our history is distorted. You can agree with me that our history has been distorted over the years and still to date. In fact, why should Tinubu say he's 69 if our history is not distorted? We don't have good records. We don't have good record keeping. And mind you, the colonial masters, they don't want the well-being of Nigeria. So they will assist any person they know that, okay, he's coming for their interest. He lose the the central bank. They are indirectly or directly, then they take the money out. Then he pretends like he's going for the AU meeting. And there they now announce to him that, see, there's a coup going on. All this on camera. There's a coup going on in his country, and that somebody has overtaken
it's Boju
him.
Boju?
He's Boju Boju. He's Boju Boju. A soldier, a true soldier will never yield power directly otherwise. Okay, so he will rather die. So, and these are the secrets they hold of each other. They know each other's, so nobody is ready to reveal anybody's secrets. The money he took away, is it not for the British government? Is it not in conjunction with the British government? So are you telling me the British government will shoot themselves and expose him? Of course not. So they were telling me he went to education. They went to school.
What did
Obasanjo do after he left government? He also went to school. Buhari said he didn't have any money to even buy election forms. So what are we talking about?
No, you see that. Hold on, Felix. That point that you say that you just made now, the last point, it really irritates me. When Buhari is coming out to tell us that he didn't have any money to buy election form, that he had to go and take a bank loan, that he had to remortgage his house and all this nonsense. It really irritates me when this guy says this. You have about 5 children in private universities in the United Kingdom, and you're telling us that you're a penniless broke man that is having to take bank loan to buy a form. Your wife is traveling all over the world first class. Your children are living first class all over the world that we see because they do it publicly, and you are trying to paint this pious image when we know full well that that guy is the biggest hypocrite on this planet. Sorry, Felix, I just had to say that. Carry on.
Yeah, well, you have your right to your own opinion. But what pains me, although yes, coming together is a step forward, which we are doing right now. We are having this kind of conversation, especially virtual, where everybody is located all over the world, and we are engaging ourselves in this kind of conversation.
Where are you based, Felix?
Currently, I'm based in India.
Oh, wow. Akwanam Kiahe?
Namaste.
You don't speak it? Namaste.
Namaste. Yes, I'm actually in the part
where in India. Akwanam Kiahe?
Apsekeho. That's the response. Okay. So anyway, let's not distract ourselves. Okay, what is a nation? What is a nation? A nation is my brother, my sister, my family, my friend, my in-law, my parents, my extended family, and like this. This is how it spreads. This is what becomes a nation. And you see, a nation starts with trade. I give you my child, you give me your son. Yeah, I give you my daughter, like that. You see, it's barter. It is the Chinese people that brought the idea of paper money. So let's not distract ourselves. What is the way forward? Because we must take this power by force. We cannot just be talking and talking. That's why they are calling us wheelers. Okay. So I'm a man on a mission. I know that I cannot carry AK-47, and I know that I cannot engage myself in fraudulent practices. So what I do is I engage in such conversation whereby I can shed light on way forward. What is it? What is the way forward? Two cannot agree. I mean, two cannot work together unless they agree. First, we must take away from our mind the issue of bigots, like religious bigots, and all these tribal issues and all that. I don't think it's necessary.
But Felix, the question that a lot of people are asking now, and this is a question that comes up in these sessions that we do, who you help will tell you that they come up with this question as well. After we have been talking and we have been talking and we have been talking, people will then say, okay, so what next? Because we have been talking for a long time now. And then people will say it is revolution. And then when we start discussing the revolution, then we'll see how we cannot work. So really, how do we break out of this? You know, that's the question.
Okay, good. Good. I will start by telling you a short story about this is true life experience. My growing up in Lagos. I spent almost all my life in Lagos, growing up in Lagos, okay. My school and everything. So I lived in Bonny Camp in Victoria Island. So growing up there, my parents sent me on errand to
who you help. Yes. You look like a bit tired. So if you want to go take a rest, then we're happy. Or
no.
Dip out and come back.
No. I'm just okay. I rest please, my back.
Who you have?
Carry on, Felix. Yeah.
Who you have? Please stay with us. Who you have? Please stay with us. Please, you are needed. I need you. I need you encourage me to join in this conversation because my brother here has been shying away from me. He's always busy. Anyway, to buttress my
floor is yours.
So just to explain to you see Lagos mentality. Yes, Lagos mentality. As young as 10 years old, when they send me on errand to Morocco to go and buy groceries or toiletries or newspaper, okay, they will give me. I will enter Molue. When I because I want to save money, obviously to buy sweet or whatever. When I see elders, I will stand up. When I stand up, I'll say, "Sir, please sit down." They will be very pleased. They will even pay for my transport in most cases. Okay, that was how it was. Then growing up, when I became, much of a teenager or an adult whereby I can move around myself, I discovered that when you enter a bus and you give the conductor money and tell him, he will expect you to forget the change. In fact, it will frustrate you to ensure that you forget that change. And when you ask, it will look as if you are asking a rude question. Did I not want you to enter the bus with your change? If you are afraid of him, definitely you will cower and he will obviously take advantage of you and he might not even give you the change. But if you protest,
they will tie you together with that lady that
yeah. So these are the things I grew up with, and I started noticing these kind of things even in the grassroots, from the ground. I noticed this kind of behavior. If I'm alone and I enter a bus and I demand for my change, the conductor will even do it in such a manner that maybe when the bus is going, you start chasing after the bus, begging him for your change because you don't know how you will come back and you cannot start begging people to give you money for transport back home. So he will throw the money on the ground, especially if you are strong and you grab hold of him. He will throw the money on the ground and slap you or hit you, then you run away with the bus. This is exactly the mindset of our leaders. Trust me on that. They will not give us this change unless we take it by force. We must demand it. We must collectively. Yes, that's what they are. That is exactly what they are, because they've lost their identity. They are there to grab what they can grab, and you know what? They are short of ideas.
Let who you help come in. Who you help?
Yes, please, who you help? Please take over, please, sir.
Yeah. First of all, let me just say this. There is only one man in the entire history of Nigeria who was not corrupt.
Is that Muritala?
Zero. Muritala is a criminal. Forget it.
Who's your man?
Yes, his name is Ambrose Ali.
Okay. Who was he? Was he what was his role? Yeah. Remind us.
Yeah, Ambrose Ali, actually, he was in the I think he was still in during Shagari regime.
Was he a governor?
I think I will make a research. But
carry on. I'll do that after. You carry on.
Ambrose Ali was not corrupt. He was jailed by the same the EM man now. He was jailed by Buhari, and he came out blind. Ambrose Ali did not have his own house, a home. He didn't build a house for himself. He died wretched. Actually, they named the University of Edo State after him, Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma. They named it after him because this man did not have his own house.
Yes, it was the former governor of the former Bendel State.
Yes, he did not have his own house. He was the only uncorruptible man. So, that aside, like you said the other time that board of contention by Nigeria, that what is it called? By Nigeria about the military man. What is his name?
Gowon?
Gowon. Yeah. No, Gowon.
Oh, Gowon.
Let me even make it to you now. Nigeria can decide to talk rubbish many times. You know why? We are full of sympathies. We are too much of sympathies. The sympathy is this. Jonathan came and tell us he didn't have a shoe. Oh, now he belonged to our group. Obasanjo come that he was a mechanic. Now he belonged to our group. Buhari come, I didn't have money to buy phone. Now he belonged to us. We are the same category.
Yeah.
These are the things we hear from this. Amechi tell us.
I've never actually thought about it like that. Actually, you are right.
Yeah, these are the things they're telling us. Amechi came on. Oh, I didn't have anything. That's why I become politician.
I hate that guy. That Amechi, I detest that guy. He's a criminal to the core.
He said, Amechi actually said, God knows I didn't like money.
I saw him when he said that. I wanted to reach through the television and slap him. I said, you know that guy, he sold everything in that is it River State or whatever. He was just looting the whole place.
So my point is this. When Nigeria started to say, oh, Gowon did not steal money, the same Nigeria, let me even say it, in Iwo, there is this man, what was his name? I think he used to have a newspaper. I don't know. He was a right man of Abacha. He was a right.
Carry on. It will come to you later. Carry on.
Yeah. So he was a right man of Abacha. He's a chief in Iwo land. Actually, they dethroned him from the chief.
Are you from Iwo, by the way?
No, I'm not from Iwo.
Okay.
I'm from Ondo State. So Oluwo actually dethroned him now.
I am going to do a video on that guy, by the way. That Oluwo, that one, his own video. I hope you come back because that one he deserves a video. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah. And then this man actually, he's the godfather of all Abacha's children now. When they got married, he's the one that stands as a father for them. He actually said it that Abacha did not steal any money. that people are still alive who can testify to that.
You know that Buhari said that too.
I'm coming. This is, and when Nigeria keeps saying that what is it called? The noise is coming back again.
I think that's from Felix.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on. I'm just gonna, yeah.
So when people said, what is it called? Gowon did not steal money. Those are just rubbish. And the same thing they tell us, Abacha did not steal money. And I'm asking
somebody is saying Ogundokun is the name you're looking for.
Yes, Ogundokun.
Okay.
Ogundokun actually tell us that Abacha did not steal money. And I'm asking myself, if Nigeria was sanctioned by a lot of countries, how come? And then the explanation was this, that Abacha was saving the money in abroad.
Well done.
How can a country who is sanctioning you are saving money in their abroad, in their country?
You know, some people in Nigeria, they're so dishonest and criminal, they should be shot and killed, brought back to life, flogged, and then shot and killed again, and then brought back to life again, and then flogged. I mean, somebody, he did not steal money, but he's just packing the economy of the country into his own private account to help the country save. I mean, can you even fathom that? Who comes up with this sort of foolishness? Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, Ogundokun was telling us that Abacha did not steal. And then when they asked him that what about the killings, he said no, it's not from Abacha. Yes, we didn't catch Abacha that he was killing people. We didn't saw him with gun. But the point was this, is that when a president is ruling, if the opposition are dying, the president have to bear the responsibility. Because when the president is ruling, when the economic is good, he actually benefits from that.
He takes the credit, doesn't he?
He takes the credit. So everything that happens under you, you should bear the responsibility. So, but in Nigeria, everything that happens under them, the good one they claim, the bad one they say, no, it's not my fault. So like your question was, how do we move forward?
Yes.
That was your question. Okay. Yes. I have two answers to that.
Okay.
The first one, for Nigeria to survive, because like what Felix said, that the corruption actually is on the ground. For Nigeria to survive, because if you went to Nigeria today, a 5-year-old boy or a 5-year-old girl, give them 100 naira and send them an errand for pure water for 50 naira, they will never come back with the change. They will tell you, the woman say he did not have change. They already collect the 50 naira in their pocket. By the time you went out and you are coming back, you say, oh, I still have 50 naira in that lady's hand. And then you went there, you say, oh, madam, I get 50 naira for your hand. Oh. She will say, 50 naira from where? I gave the boy your change now. And then you will pay that, you will buy another pure water, you will pay with your money. When you get home, you ask the boy, he will ask you, bros, you know if you forget the change? You understand?
Is it just because of 50 naira that you're abusing it like this?
And then everybody,
you are the bad person.
Yeah, the worst part of it is that the whole environment will criticize you. Now, how can you not leave that boy with the 15 naira? For them to arrest the boy and deal with him, that he will never repeat that again, is zero.
My mother would never tolerate that. If it's a penny, you return it, and then it is then at the generosity of that person to tell you to keep it. So it is it is not down to you to decide to keep it. You return the change, and then the person can say, no, keep it. Go and use it to buy sweet.
Yes. My first thing is this: for Nigeria to move forward, actually, you have to be a military. Democracy will never change. It will never move anything forward in Nigeria. And if democracy will move forward in Nigeria, we have to have somebody that is honest, like Thomas Shangara from Burkina Faso.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We have to have that kind of.
Oh, Sankara.
Yeah, Thomas Sankara from.
Yeah.
We have to have intelligence of that kind of human being who does not. He died wretched. He only have his bicycle and his drum and his guitar.
Is it not the one that used to jam with Fela Kuti?
No.
Yes, he also had a relationship with Fela Kuti.
Yes.
Yeah,
he did. He did.
So the point is this:
Carry on, sir.
if we are going to change, we have to have one person, a leader, who came into power. Anybody that has more than 500,000 in his account, they seize all the whole money of the country. Every money. Anybody that has more than 1 million, they seize every one of them. They seize all the money, and then the infrastructure begin immediately. You don't prosecute anybody. You said your money is lost, and then we are going to use it for the benefit of the country. Everything we start infrastructure, building companies, road, bridges, electricity. You do everything. That's the way forward. If we are praying from morning till night that a democracy will help us, it's a zero. No democracy.
Nigeria needs a messiah. Let's go to the comment section and see what people are saying. Grace, my brother, I see a new Nigeria. God is fight, okay? So that person is in that prayerful mode again. You know how we take everything to God within the Nigerian space. Olaoluwa Idris, I think our major problem is the constitution. It gives more room for the northerners to dictate what will happen. If then former President Obasanjo tried to probe/arrest Babangida, he might be impeached. So he should have at least tried. He's meant to be a military man, and that is the whole point. So this is Jacob. Jacob says, thank you. I'm not sure what Jacob is thanking people for. This is Samson. You get it wrong. Not only Ambrose Ali, all upon governor are not, all UPN governor are not corrupt. So all UPN governors are not corrupt is what this person will have you have.
He can name them. I name someone. You are saying all. Who is all? Name yours.
I don't think you can count up to 5 Nigerian politicians that are not corrupt. Ola Omo is saying Ogundokun is the name. So we got that. Samson is repeating that it is Ogundokun that is the name that you're looking for. Samson again, we have to go our separate ways. So that is a popular thing that people go to. It says no military to what you are saying. Omalara joins us at last. These days, good is the new bad and bad is the new good. So good is the new bad and bad is the new good. James, you can't change the ideology of the Fulanis in the 1,000 years time. In 1,000 years time is what he's meaning to say. End Nigeria now. James again, Nigeria is not working. It would never work in 1,000 years. James carries on. All the regions were nation before white man came and brought us together. Bayo Smith joins us. Our leaders are evil, created a system that they only are benefiting from. James again, Nigerian politicians are satanic, demonic, wicked, and evil. They have no love for the citizens. So we know that they had no love for the citizens. So we were going through the military incursions into the Nigerian space, and we went through the first incarnation when the first republic was truncated. So we had military rulership from 1966 to 1979 when Shagari then took over to start the Second Republic. So Shagari was overthrown in 1983 military coup and succeeded by Muhammadu Buhari. So this is when this guy first came into contention. Shagari was overthrown in 1983 military coup and succeeded by Muhammadu Buhari, who was appointed chairman of a new Supreme Military Council of Nigeria and commander-in-chief of the armed forces by the junta. Buhari ruled for 2 years until 1985 military coup when he was overthrown by General Babangida. So that was the second incarnation, the second military junta. We go on to the third military junta. General Ibrahim Babangida promulgated himself as president of the Armed Forces Ruling Council and the first military president of Nigeria. His rule was the longest serving in peacetime, and his administration typified the military dictatorships of the 20th century. Babangida promised a return to democracy when he seized power, but he ruled Nigeria for 8 years when he temporarily handed over power to interim head of state Ernest Shonekan in 1993 in a move towards democratization. 2 months later, so Shonekan was actually only in post for 2 months. So 2 months later, however, Shonekan was overthrown by General Sani Abacha whilst Buhari was visiting Egypt. So that was the end of that period. So we go on to the Fourth Republic. In 1993, General Sani Abacha overthrew the interim national. So I'm not quite sure if we should call the Ernest Shonekan period a republic because it only lasted for 2 months, and the remit then, the brief for Shonekan at that period was for him to organize an election because they wanted to say that they were detached from Nigeria because the Nigerians were fed up with the military then, so they handed him the power for the sole purpose of just running an election. So effectively, he was an administrator. In 1993, General Sani Abacha overthrew interim national government and appointed himself chairman of the Provisional Ruling Council of Nigeria. After Abacha's death in 1998, General Abdulsalami Abubakar took over and ruled until Olusegun Obasanjo again became the head of state via the 1999 presidential election, ending the junta and establishing the Fourth Republic of Nigeria. So that's just a brief summary of the republics of Nigeria, the military incursions into the political space. Of course, soldier go, soldier come, as Felix has been telling us that they will never leave us, no matter what name they call themselves. So let's see what people are saying in the comment section. So I'll read the comments down, then I'll come around for closing thoughts, and then I think we might well end it there. So let's just go back to the comments and see. The last person that spoke was James. James comes back again. Nigerian politicians see Nigeria as a business. I think everybody is of that thought. Samson, Jakonde, Bola Ige, Ajasi, BC, Onabanjo, and Ambrose Ali. So these are the list of names that this guy is insisting were not corrupt. They are all good governors, is what Samson is saying. James Lincoln, only unreasonable person would say that Nigeria is a nation. I think we're all agreed on that. Chooks Leonard, Nigeria can't work again. The only option is disintegration. James again, if you are still supporting one Nigeria, you are in bondage of the Fulani's federal government. Michael comes in, Nigerian government system is a criminal enterprise incorporated with Western nations like Britico. So James again, we need a nation that work for the citizens. Yoruba nation is the answer. Bayo Smith, things are not working and we are already parted, and our leaders seem not to see that. Poverty everywhere and our country is so dirty and careless. Leader, what a shame. James rounds it off. We say no to one Nigeria and restructuring. Yoruba nation is not negotiable. So we come to you, Felix. Give us your closing thoughts, and then we round it off, and then we come to you, who you help. So Felix, off you go.
Great, thank you very much. It's a privilege to be part of these great minds. I really appreciate it. One thing I just want to say in closing is this: something happened in India, years back when the Prime Minister Modi took power. Okay, and what was that? It was termed demonetization. They changed their currency. So if you have to bring certain amount to get the new currency, then you have to declare how come you earned this and maybe show some kind of tax proof. Just to buttress what who you help was saying, you know, that they should collect back all the monies stolen. That is the easiest way to get back all the money stolen. If you print your money, new money, for instance, if I'm the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will declare for a new money. Okay, and that's why you see most of them, they steal money in dollars. So that if peradventure any government comes and say he wants to change the currency, they will just take their dollars to other country and change it and bring it back again. Money laundering. So that is also one of the ways to seize back, to take power back. You change the currency, and anybody who is going to declare maybe 1 million or 2 million, he has to show proof. How did he get this money? So that is one way. And my fear for Nigeria is this. It's not that everybody knows the problem with Nigeria. Everybody is aware. But the issue is, my fear is that if Nigeria divides, it will continue to divide and continue to divide and continue to divide until it becomes extinct. That is my fear. That is my fear. I will leave my thoughts on that, please.
Thank you, Felix. We've really enjoyed having you, and please come back again. Your contribution has been valued, and it's added a lot to this session. Yes, we did actually. What you said is something that we've actually discussed before. Because if you are saying divide Nigeria, so 2 points that you made that I wanted to speak to. If you are saying divide Nigeria, then where does that division stop? Is really the question. Because a lot of the nations within the Nigerian space, they are insistent that they want to be a standalone nation by themselves. The thieves want to be a standalone nation by themselves. The Edos, they don't consider themselves really part of Yoruba or part of Igbo. They want to be a nation by themselves. The Yorubas even, they will want to subdivide along even inflections of language, like you are Igba, you are this, you are that. And then within the northern region, there's so many subdivisions. So by the time you can get close to 50 nations out of Nigeria, if we have to go by the desires of people wanting that nationhood. So that is a point that we need to reflect on. The other point that you made about changing the currency is also something that I share. A lot of these people, they loot money, and you won't believe some of the places that people hide money in Nigeria. They hide it in strong rooms. Some even hide it in soccerways. Do you understand? They hide it in soccerways. So if somebody just quickly changes that money and then gives the country a buffer of 3 months, that the money changes in 3-4 months, so take all your money to the bank and get the new currency, you'll be surprised that people will actually be burning some of these monies and giving it out on the street. So that I agree as well, and that will sweep up. And they should give them a moratorium that, look, if you just take money to a bank and pay it into this account, we will not ask you any questions where you got the money from, but you have that moratorium of that 3-4 months, because the currency will change. But that currency change will come. I think it might well come under Tinubu if he becomes president. So thank you, Felix. We'll let you go, and we look forward to seeing you again. Who you help? Your closing thoughts?
Let's put it this way. I don't have opinion if Nigeria is going to divide or is going to stick together. But I'm open-minded to whoever want to go is their choice, because if you get married, if you are not satisfied in your marriage, if you come home, your wife cannot prepare you a food, and then you go, you pay the bills yourself, you do everything, then one day you will get bored and tired of that marriage. And especially if you can be able to find a side chick, you will, seriously, you will say goodbye.
Be careful, Mr. Man. I'm sure your madam is watching this from before. You better don't incriminate yourself.
No. She knows everything. So, yeah. So my point is this, is that if people are tired, if they want to leave, my fear is this, like two of you actually was making a viable point that if we leave, I knew for sure if let's assume the Yoruba leave, they took the Bini, they took the data with them and everything, which they are claiming is their brothers and sisters and everything.
What about Kwara? You know there be a fight over Kwara?
Yes, we know those. Let's take it this way, for example. I knew for sure that nobody will become president just because of a particular a particular tribe from the Yoruba. Nobody will become a president from just a small part of the Yoruba. The Ekiti will never allow anybody to become a president because the petition that will be going on, they will kill everybody.
Dr. Aluko, Dr. Iwi, Dr. this and Dr. that.
The professor will just be sitting there writing petition. Oh, this guy stole pen when he was in primary school. This guy stole bicycle. He actually poured water on his grandma.
He did not say good morning to the teacher when he came in.
You know, so the Ekiti will disturb everybody. So, and then there is still the power grabber between the Yoruba and the Yoruba, and then it continued that way. But if they want to go, I will support. I don't have problem with that. I will support the I think the Yoruba should start to give themselves a new name. They should stand by the Omoluabi name, not Oduduwa. Forget Oduduwa. They should stand by Omoluabi. Simple.
Which is a rallying call, a mission statement.
Yes.
You know, because if you are not an Omoluabi, then you are not really a Yoruba. Or if you don't try to be an Omoluabi, then you're not a Yoruba. And for the non-Yoruba speakers, an Omoluabi simply means a civilized person. That's just the how would you, is that the closest translation in English? What would you say? What would you say an English for Omoluabi?
Omoluabi means an upright person.
Person from a good home,
Yes, an upright.
Yeah.
So
go on.
So I think we should give that name. We should forget this Oduduwa, because people actually can debate Oduduwa and tell you they are not going to carry that name. The indigenous Ife, they can tell you we don't want that name, and which they are right. So we should start by saying we are Omoluabi. So the Yoruba Omoluabis. So then things will become clear. Then for that, I will support Omoluabi. We have to leave. So that is one. Because when you are being marginalized, the Igbos have been marginalized. How come the Igbo never takes the presidency? You know, when they kill Aguiyi-Ironsi in Ibadan, General Fajuyi also was killed because he was the governor of Western Region. Fajuyi also was killed with Aguiyi-Ironsi. So
did he actually take a bullet? He took a bullet for Aguiyi-Ironsi, didn't he? That he wasn't going to leave his boss or something.
So you know, when they came in, they asked. They didn't actually want to kill him. It's only Aguiyi-Ironsi they want to kill. They asked him, "Is he inside?" He said, "Okay, let me go inside and come back." He went there. He stayed too long. I think that was the problem. And then they came in by force. They took two of them, and then that's it. We never knew how they were killed, where they were buried, but we knew it's around Ibadan there. Ibadan, Ife or Abeokuta, that was one of those places. They would have killed them and buried them and those things. So how come the Igbos is there never tasted any post if they are not being marginalized? How come?
The closest they got was Alex Ekweme, wasn't he?
Those are not. Those are just how should I say it?
Sit down their position.
Yes. It's just propaganda. It's just nonsense. These people, how can you say in a country of 200 million, a tribe cannot contest as a president?
And there's an argument to be had that the Igbos are actually the largest tribe in Nigeria. There's a lot of people that are able to back that up with data. Carry on.
Yeah. So how can you say, even though if they are not the largest, how can you say they cannot contest as a president? The only post you can give to them is Senate. And when was the last time they hold a Senate? When was the last time? So
Nigeria will fall before the Northerners allow an Igbo man to be president. It will never happen.
Then they should be ready that the Igbo will go. They should be ready for that. So I don't. For me, if Irish can go away from British, and the Welsh, and the Scotland are also thinking of going, and if the British can leave the European Union, who is saying that Nigeria cannot be divided, or who is saying the Biafra should not go, or the Omoluabi should not go. Who is saying that? And then the point is this: I want everything to go in peace, but I knew for Africa things never happen in peace.
It will never happen. The Nigeria can never go in the way of Biafra or Odudua or Omoluabi, as we've now described it now, in a bloodless sort of manner. Even the Northerners have said that look, this country will not divide if there's not a bloodletting, because the stakes are so high. The entirety of the North, they have a lot of mineral resources in the North, actually, that they keep to themselves, but their whole dependency is on that Niger Delta oil wealth. So if they don't have that, they have nothing. If you look at all of these people that they are celebrating within the Nigerian space, all of the ministers that are Northerners that can't even speak English, this Aliko Dangote that is just a chancer, somebody like Buhari, etc. If you remove that Niger Delta oil wealth from those type of people, Buhari, I don't even think he has enough to be the head of a clan. It will probably be somebody that is just running cattle for a chieftain in his locality. So all of these people, I've always said it, that Buhari, if you remove the parameters, the facilitation of Nigeria, Buhari would not be more than a megad in another life, because it doesn't show any set of talents that indicates that he has any capacity beyond just being like a megad. But there you have it. This is why these people will not let go of Nigeria. So if you round it off, then I'll go to the comment section, and then we'll reconvene again tomorrow. So yeah, any final comment? Yeah.
The final comment is this: is that I hope that we one day everybody will celebrate in their own dialect. That we don't have to say we spoke vernacular in school. We can actually be speaking Igbo in Igbo's way. The Omoluabi can be speaking Yoruba in Yoruba's way. And then the Northerner, if they want to speak Fulani or Hausa, they can do it on their own. So our language will not be vernacular, because that has made me to be sick. And I'm glad that I can speak Yoruba. I can speak Yoruba fluently. And then I think everybody in diaspora should start to teach their children how to speak their local language. They should try.
Are you leading by example? Can your children now speak your vernacular?
Not really. That's the problem.
Look at that. Look at that.
No, now I've started now. I started to speak Yoruba with my kids now. Yeah, I started now. So I started to tell them, so that was the brainwash what I got when I was growing up. You speak your mother's tongue, they call it vernacular. And I came to Europe. Europe. Everybody spoke their mother's tongue, no matter where they are. If an Italian moved to America, he spoke Italian to the kids. Some of the kids actually speak Italian first before they could even understand English. So for me, that would be my closing today, that we all should stick by by our society, that if Igbo want to go, I will support them to go. If Omoluabi want to go, I'm actually in for Omoluabi.
All right, thank you very much. We reconvene again tomorrow, same time, same place. Yeah. Sorry about the late thing, some technical difficulties today, but you know the time, 10:45 usually in the afternoons, UK time. We convene.
UK time. Is a member. UK time. What time? UK time.
10:45.
10:45.
Yes. No, we were late today. I was late today because I had some technical difficulties.
That would be too early.
Usually I start around about 10:45.
Okay.
Because that's the time slot that I have in my schedule to do it. So I'm actually doing 2 sessions. Actually, I'm doing 10:45 because I have that time slot, and then I'm doing. No, sorry, not 10:45. What did I say? 1:45.
Yes, 1:45.
Yeah, not 10:45. 1:45, and then I also do 10:45 in the evenings.
In the evening,
because then I have the time as well. So 2 sessions I'm doing. I'm just experimenting with it to see what the what the desire is for it. But thank you. You know, I expect to see you again tomorrow, and then
Yeah.
we'll tackle another topic. So there you are. Who you help? His view is that this idea of even Odudua is something that should be revisited. He is proposing that Omoluabi captures more the essence of Yoruba-ness than Odudua is more of a catch-all situation. He's also in agreement that this splitting the country might not necessarily be something that will work in the manner that people are saying, because he's citing the examples of the Ekitis. He said it in a jocular manner, but of course, that jokes really makes the point that even within that subdivisions, there will still be a tussle for power. So we had that, and he also spoke to the Igbo experience, that why is it the case that the Igbos are still not gotten any relevance in the nearly 70 years of the existence of the Nigerian nation. So that is his point, and we look to hear from him again as we reconvene almost certainly tomorrow. So let's go to the comment section, see what is being said. And by the way, before we go to the comment section, let me just acknowledge there was somebody that actually gave us a super chat of £5. So that was the first time ever that anybody has given a super chat to the channel. So it needs a mention by itself. So I am mentioning it by itself. Alpha Mega was the name. Let me just scroll up to see. Yeah, it was Alpha Mega that gave us that super chat. Of course, that is not the expectation, but of course, it is appreciated. Where did we stop last with the commentary? So we take it from James Lincoln. Only an unreasonable person will say that Nigeria is a nation. Chooks, Leonard, Nigeria can't work again. The only option is disintegration. James Lincoln again. If you're still supporting one Nigeria, you're in bondage. I think we've actually seen that comment. Michael comes in. Nigerian governmental system is a crypto. So we've seen that comment as well. Bio Smith, have we seen your comment? So let's take it from Bio Smith. Things are not working and we are already parted, and our leaders seem not to see that. Poverty everywhere and our country is so dirty and careless. Leader, I think we've seen that comment as well. Okay, let's take it from here. So James again, Buhari brought Tanko from Bauchi State Sharia Court to be Chief Justice of Nigeria. Tanko is a Sharia court judge. Tanko know nothing about law, only Sharia law. So Tanko Mohammed is speaking to the Chief Justice of Nigeria who replaced Walter Onoge. Tanko Mohammed, of course, as James is rightly saying, his specialism in law is Sharia law, and Nigeria, of course, is a secular state. So how quite somebody that is narrowed to a specific area of law has supremacy over the Nigerian legal structure is only something that can be explained by a person like Malam Buhari. James carries on, we don't want to be in the same country with people that believe in Sharia law, not democracy. Dan comes in, Nigeria needs to divide. Nigeria government is for the North. Samson, that cannot work in Nigeria. I'm not quite sure what he's saying cannot work in Nigeria. James, Yoruba nation and Biafra nation means there is no business as usual for satanic, demonic Nigeria politicians. So the Nigerian politicians that we do have, they are of the mix of Nigeria, because of course Okorocha is an Igbo man, and he will not stop being an Igbo man when you have Biafra, and it will not stop being a corrupt politician when you have Biafra. So it's just localized. Tinubu is a Yoruba man. He will not stop being a Yoruba man if we have Omoluabi nation as who you help us now adopt it. Omalara, they are hiding in the ceiling. Who is hiding in the ceiling, Omalara? Michael, one man, you want us to continue in this bondage till when? Can you prefer solutions for us, please? Well, you know, you can prefer solutions as well, and we can discuss them. James, United Kingdom of Great Britain is made up of 4 nations: England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Scotland are not representing England in the Olympics. Nigeria, everyone is one Nigeria. So I'm not sure what that point is. James, One Nigeria is a scam. James again, we can't build on a wrong foundation called Nigeria. James carries on, Nigeria is artificial country made by Britain for their personal gain. We are not Nigerian. Samson comes in, no one is fighting about Kwara. The problem is Ilorin. So he is speaking to that point that I was making, that if Nigeria subdivides, then what happens to Kwara State? Because Kwara State, of course, is majority Yorubas, but the rulership of that country is always been Fulani ever since Afonja, of course, ceded it to the Malamis. So that would be a bone of contention. Rasky Lawrence, what is Omo Oluabi? Omo Oluabi, as who you help, as just expanded on earlier, means an upright person. So an upright person in Yoruba language, that is the closest English translation for that. Michael, we want Biafra and no going back. Well, you can want what you want. Everybody wants everything. I want $1 million on my desk right now, but how I go about getting it is a different question. James, we can't restructure Fulani ideology in 1,000 years' time. James again, one Nigeria is the power of Fulani federal government. Michael, we are going and we are determined. So who is we and where are you going? James comes back. All the regions should have their nations in charge of their resources and destiny. So that thing that you're saying there, James, is part of the restructuring, clamoring that we're having within this space, that there should be a seeding of resources to its localized base so that the resources is owned by where the resources are found, and then they pay some sort of like a royalty to the federating state, to the federal government. So that is part of the restructuring argument. James, Fulani federal government don't see you as their brothers. They know their brothers from Mali, Senegal, Chad. They are claiming one Nigeria in location for, okay, so pretty much along those lines. Omolara, what of old Yugoslavia? Those who refused a peaceful change, those who refused peaceful change, so that should be those who make peaceful change impossible, make violent change inevitable. Break we must, people. So the disintegration of Nigeria is what Lara is calling from. James, you can't tell Germans to sing their national anthem in English. So that is to the point that who you help was making. James comes back. Why England are not singing their national anthem in French? So I think we get the point. Fact of Africa, who came on live the last time, he has a channel under that name. It says, you really slaughtered Buhari. I think I agree with you that the man is not clever. I think that is patently obvious. James, we have been scammed that we are Nigerians. You must speak in English. So, succinct limited television, awesome. But what is awesome is the question. Michael, one man went to Mo, please use your time to talk about disintegration. One Nigeria is a deceit. Samson, the Igbos get their presidents first, but they lost it to the Fulani. So they got the presidency first, I think is what it's saying. Rasky, Odudua makes sense more than Omoluabi, so he is contending that name that who you help suggested. And then Hachidi is the last comment that we're rounding off with. I am loving the way you read the questions and you're replying to them. So thank you very much for that. And thank you very much to everybody that has contributed. We had Felix from India. So this band actually is one of the delights that I'm enjoying because it's amazing. Nigeria are very entrepreneurial people, and Nigeria are very brave people, and Nigerians are ready to take on the world. So you have Felix there in India colonizing the place. So the first black president of India is who we have just seen there, Felix. So he has gone to conquer that space. There's actually a guy, Adichie, He always DMs me on Instagram, so we have friendly chats there. He is actually in Afghanistan. Can you imagine that? A Nigerian in Afghanistan? What is even in Afghanistan that anybody is going to look for? But there are Nigerians there. You had, of course, who you help from Finland. We usually have Henry. He wasn't available today. He is in Denmark. And then, of course, we've had people from the United States, etc. So the breadth and the span of the reach of Nigerians is something that continues to impress. And I hope that that will continue to be brought to bear within this platform. So we reconvene again tomorrow. Well, we reconvene later tonight under a different topic, because in the night sessions we have a more human sphere sort of like a storyline, and then the heavyweight political stuff is going to be for the afternoon sessions. So around about 10:45 tonight, the question is going to be the Nigerians living abroad, and this is interesting after what I just said. The question for 10:45 p.m. tonight is that, are the Nigerians living abroad, are they pretty much prisoners there, and are they held hostage effectively? Are they refugees there? Because the thing is that Nigerians living abroad, a lot of them are fed up with their abroad. They would love to be able to come back to Nigeria, but then of course the headsmen. So that is the thing. So let's just say, let's round it off with this last comment, and then we'll say our goodbyes. Oyedeji David, divide Nigeria now, let Yoruba and Igbo go their different ways. Please, Fulani, Hausa can never change its bad character. So that is that. I think that is something that continues to repeat. So the session started, of course, with Obasanjo's commentary that the annulment of the June 12, 1993 election was as a result of bad belle. That is what he said, bad belle, but he did not expand on that. But then, of course, that opened up that space to have this conversation about exactly what happened at June 12. We've had several theories, but as ever, we're not able to really land on the fact of the matter, because, of course, the facts of the matter are shrouded in a collective of people, a handful of people who were the key players in that particular scenario that played out. Why that election was annulled, even though it continues to be celebrated and to be vaunted as the freest and fairest election that Nigeria has ever had, that is really where the conundrum is. That is where the mystery is. How can it be the freest and fairest election that the country has ever had, but it was an election that never ran to its fruition? So that is the question. Come give answers to this in the comment section as we seek to round off. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.